Yeah, first things first, I just want to say what you said about talking to strangers about sensitive topics earlier. I just want to say that I totally agree with that, you know. Excuse me. I totally agree with that because, you know, because when you tell those sensitive topics to people you love, they could have, like, negative judgments on you, and then, like, estrangement and stuff could happen. So I agree with what you're talking about.
You agree with the idea that it's easier to talk to a stranger about a sensitive topic than like a loved one?
Yeah, that's what he's...
Yeah.
Correct.
That tends to be my personal experience as well. Like, yeah, usually people are more open if they don't know who you are, which is kind of unfortunate because, you know, usually the people that are learning these methods want to help the loved ones in their life and not necessarily some stranger that they've never met before. Yeah,
right. Totally correct. You know, I had a conversation with a guy this summer at one of my friends' his apartment pool. There was another guy there, and we just had like a hour-and-a-half conversation about different topics related to religion. But what I wanted to get into real quick, I just wanted to say I love your guys' show. You guys kind of help me like rewire my brain, if that makes any sense.
Sounds scary.
A little bit, but it's been kind of fun just being able to learn so much more and being open-minded and stuff.
What would you say is the main thing? What would you say is the main thing that you changed on from having watched their show?
Actually, that's one of the things I wanted to get into real quick. Well, I'll just answer that real quick. The first thing, or probably the hardest thing to get rid of, was the concept of the afterlife.
Scary thought, living forever. No, I think I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was never really scared of death or like afraid of hell or anything. But I was raised Catholic. My family's pretty liberal, and I was raised in a liberal town. So it was never really crazy. We all just kind of like, everyone has their beliefs, you know, everyone's cool with it, whatever. But I think my parents were just kind of liberal with it because my grandparents forced my dad into Catholic school when he was a kid. So they were just kind of lackadaisical on it, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I only had like my first communion when I was in second grade. So it was never really a huge part of my family life.
Okay.
And
you're still struggling today with this whole idea of there not being an afterlife, more than likely?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm over that now. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He was just saying that's one of the things that he thinks was a big deal that changed. But you actually have a different topic for today, right?
Yeah, I wanted to just give a little background, you know, about how you guys helped me. And then I wanted to actually bring to your attention, if you didn't know, if you hadn't heard about it already, I think it was 2016, there was an article and a video published of hypothesized chimpanzee religious rituals in, I can't remember where they said, obviously somewhere in Africa, but they had recorded, I think it was multiple different tribes, if you will, of chimpanzees, like running up some tree and like banging on the tree and throwing rocks at it and howling at it and doing different things, which might be what they hypothesize as religious rituals. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be really hard to demonstrate the motivation behind chimpanzee behavior. I remember back when I was in college, there was the observations, I think it was Jane Goodall who first observed, but other people I think have since, that chimpanzees they react with threat behavior to storms, right? So if there's like a thunder cloud and, you know, lightning and stuff, that freaks them out. And because they're scared, they react with threatening behavior. So they'll grab branches and shake them at the storm and scream and do the things they would normally do to other chimpanzees that they're trying to intimidate. So they definitely appear to look at threats in a way that mimics the same way that they would look at agent threats, right? So non-agent threat, agent threat, they seem to behave in a similar fashion, which makes a person kind of wonder, Are they looking at this storm as some sort of an agent, something they can scare away? And you're describing behavior toward a tree that's a little bit weird, like what are they doing with this tree? I hope that one day we can actually establish, what would be the motivation behind it. But certainly it's intriguing to see an animal act like, behave as though something is an agent that isn't. And it does certainly put us, I think, in mind of early religious beliefs, and even some religious beliefs that still exist today that are a little bit animistic, where people endow inanimate things or natural things with agency, right? So I understand what you're describing.
I'm actually really fascinated about like the whole early religions and like Sumerians and the Egyptian stuff. So I think all that is actually really, really cool. And possibly because that's, I think, what broke my quote-unquote faith, if you will.
Okay.
Because I had kind of been on the fence about it after watching your guys' show for a while, and then I had seen a video sometime last year. I think it was just called like The Origins of Religion or something, and it had explained how it would all come from animism and like, because of pattern-seeking minds and stuff. So I just wanted to thank you guys for all the things you're doing and the help you're bringing to people. So
thank you for your call.
Even people that aren't extremely religious like I was. So
okay,
thank you a bunch, and I hope I can come down and visit sometime.
Yeah, feel free. We have the dinner afterwards. All right, thank you, Mitch.
Don't have too much to add to that one. Have no experience in that field at all.
Okay.
Other than maybe just being a little cautious not to draw too many conclusions from a study. As much as we would like to be able to say that these things are an evolved trait, we have to be a little cautious on those.
Yeah,
studies.
Absolutely. I think these are mainly hypotheses, and we would have to find ways to explore them in more depth.